Hello dear students, welcome back to your physics class. Today we will do our chapter number 6, heat and energy. It is our common experience that when we rub our hands we feel hot, or heat is also obtained by electrical energy as well as with chemical energy. So when we rub our hands, when we rub our palms together, heat is produced. So when we rub our palms, what happens? Rubbing palms. Then mechanical work is done. We can say this provides mechanical energy. And when electric current passes through the wire, that is metallic wire, again heat is produced, and in electric current the electrical energy is supplied. And when we burn coal, the chemical energy we are giving, that is burning coal, we are providing some chemical energy. All these leads to the same product, that is heat. When we rub our palms, then heat is produced, that is mechanical energy is used up, and when electric current passes through the metallic wire, again heat is produced. And when we burn the coal, then chemical energy is used up in producing heat. So from this discussion we can conclude that heat is nothing but a form of energy. So we can regard heat as a form of energy. Now each body is made up of molecules, and molecules are in a state of random motion. Molecule possess energy, and the heat energy of the body is the internal energy of its molecule. A hot body is having more internal energy than a cold body, and there is the transfer of internal energy when two bodies are brought in contact with each other. If this is a hot body and this is a cold body, then when two bodies are placed in contact with each other, there is transfer of some internal energy, and the body which imparts heat, here heat is imparted by the hot body to the cold body, which imparts heat is said to be at higher temperature, and the body which receives heat is said to be at lower temperature. So we can see that the heat always flow from hot body to cold body, and when these two bodies are placed in contact with each other, the cold body gets warm up, cold body warms up, and the hot body cools down till both the bodies attain the same temperature. This process continues, and on touching a body, if a body appears to be hot, then it means the heat is transferred from the hot body to our hands, and if a body appears to be cold, then it means that heat is transferred from our hand to the body. Next, we shall discuss the definition of heat. Heat is a form of energy that is transferred between two bodies at two different temperatures when placed in contact with each other. So heat is a flow or transfer of energy when two bodies are placed in contact with each other. That is, they must have different temperature. That is how the heat will transfer. Next we shall discuss about the units of heat. Units of heat. As we have concluded that heat is nothing but a form of energy, so the units of heat is same as the units of energy. That is, in SI, that is System International, the units of heat is Joule, abbreviated as capital J, and in CGS, that is centimeter gram second system, the units of heat is erg. There is a relation between these two units. It is the smaller unit, it is the bigger unit. 1 joule means 10 raised to power 7 ergs. Other units of heat is calorie, kilocalorie. 1 kilocalorie contains 1000 calories. And 1 calorie contains 4.186 or joule, or you can say approximately 4.2 joule. So there are 3 units of heat that we have discussed: joule, erg and calories, and also we have discussed the relation between these units. Now we shall discuss about the concept of temperature. What is the difference between heat and temperature? Flow of heat from hot body to cold body is determined by the temperature. If two bodies are placed in contact with each other, say body 1 and body 2, and if there is flow of heat from body 1 to body 2, we can say that body 1 is having higher temperature than body 2. So we can say that temperature determines the flow of heat. Let us define what is temperature. A temperature is a quantity which indicates the thermal state of a body. That is, temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness. It determines the direction of flow of heat when two bodies at different temperature are placed in contact with one another. But temperature alone does not tell us the quantity of heat energy contained in the body. For this, we require the amount of heat. To know what is the amount of heat contained in the body, we require mass, its temperature, and nature of material with which the body is made up of. Now we shall discuss about the units of temperature. Units of temperature. There are 3 units of temperature, that is degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin. So from this chart you can see this is thermometer of Celsius and this is Kelvin's thermometer, and the freezing point of water, that is ice point, is 0 degree Celsius, and boiling point of water, that is steam point, is 100 degree Celsius. And there is a relation between degree Celsius and Kelvin. 0 degree Celsius means 273 Kelvin, or more precisely we can say that equals to 273.15 Kelvin. So if we want to convert the degree Celsius into Kelvin, we have to just add this quantity, that is 273. For example, 25 degrees Celsius, if we want to convert it into Kelvin, we can write 25 plus 273 Kelvin, that is 298 Kelvin. Here you can see 25 degree is 298 Kelvin, because the divisions on the both temperature thermometers is same. There are 100 divisions as well as there are 100 divisions, because the ice point of the scale is 273 Kelvin, because 0 degree Celsius means 273 Kelvin. So there are 100 divisions. The formula to convert degree Celsius into Kelvin is 273 plus T degree Celsius equals to capital T Kelvin. So to convert the degree Celsius into Kelvin, just add 273. Next one is Fahrenheit. The ice point for the Fahrenheit scale is 32 degrees Celsius. 32 degree Fahrenheit ice point. Means 0 degree Celsius equals to 32 degree Fahrenheit. It is the ice point. And the steam point for this scale is 212 degree Fahrenheit. So you have to remember the ice point and the steam point for the different units of the temperature, and the relation between the degree Celsius and Fahrenheit is C upon 5 equals to F minus 32 upon 9. So you have to remember this expression, then you can convert degree Celsius into Fahrenheit and Fan into degree Celsius. Once you convert Fahrenheit into degree Celsius, then you can convert the Celsius into Kelvin. So these three units are interconvertible. And there are total 180 divisions on the Fahrenheit scale, because the ice point of Fahrenheit scale is 32 degree Fahrenheit and steam point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. So how many divisions are there? Just subtract these. Divisions are 212 minus 32, that is 180 divisions. These scale have 100 divisions and the Kelvin scale has also 100 divisions, but this scale has 180 divisions. Next we shall discuss about thermal expansion. So what is thermal expansion? The expansion of a substance on heating is called the thermal expansion of that substance. Liquid expand more than solids and gases expand much more than liquids. Thermal expansion is the expansion of a substance when it is heated, and a solid has definite shape, so a solid when heated it expands in all directions, that is length, area and volume. And The increase in length is called linear expansion. If length of the solid is increased, then it is regarded as linear expansion. And if area of the solid is increased, then it is called superficial expansion. And if the volume of the solid increases, then it is regarded as cubical expansion. And there are three states of matter and all expand on heating. That is solid state, in which the particles are very close to each other, and liquid state, in which the particles are close to each other but not as close as much they are in solids, and gaseous state, in which the particles are very apart from each other. So when heated, the solids only vibrate, and when more heated they may melt, and in case of the liquids they expand much more than the solids, and gases expand very than that of the liquids. Means most of the expansion happens in case of the gases, then liquids, and then solids. But the extent to which gases can expand is very greater as compared to the liquid because of their intermolecular forces. And some substances such as water from 0 degree to 4 degree and silver iodide from 80 degree to 141 degree Celsius, on heating they contract. We said that on heating a substance expands, but in case of some substances such as water, when it is heated from 0 degree Celsius to 4 degree Celsius, it contracts instead of expanding. See, the temperature is rising, that is the body is heating, but the body itself not expanding, it is contracting. And silver iodide, when it is heated from 80 degrees Celsius to 141 degrees Celsius, it also contracts. So these substances show anomalous expansion, that is, these are contracting when they are heated. So means, in the other words, we can say when it is cooled down, that is when temperature decreases from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius, temperature is decreasing but the substance is expanding. So there is expansion occurring. So this kind of expansion is called anomalous expansion. Now we shall discuss about anomalous expansion of water. Anomalous expansion of water. The expansion of water when it is cooled from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius is known as anomalous expansion of water. That is, as we have already discussed, when water is cooled from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius, it expands. It should contract, but it is expansion. That is, it is showing the property of expansion. Temperature is decreasing, that is, we are lowering the temperature, but then the body is expanding. and this type of expansion in case of water is regarded as anomalous expansion. Let us discuss the anomalous expansion of water with some graphs. We can draw the graph between volume and temperature. We can take the temperature in degrees Celsius, taking the temperature along with x-axis and volume along with y-axis. This is the volume of water. So, let's say there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So temperature is increasing. As temperature is increasing, so in between 0 degrees Celsius and 4 degrees Celsius, when water cools, if we are increasing the temperature, then means we are heating the water. So volume of water is taken here. When temperature increases from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius, what happens? There shall happen the expansion, but it is not happening. It is showing the different behavior in a certain range of temperature. Expansion is not happening here. Here is happening contraction of water. That is, the density of the water is increasing. Now, up to 4 degrees Celsius, the volume of the water decreases and water has a maximum density at 4 degrees Celsius. Again, after further heating, like normal, when temperature is higher, then the density, then the volume increases. That is, when a body is heated, it shows expansion. So, further heating from 4 degrees Celsius, the volume of the water increases. We can also draw the graph between density and the temperature. Temperature is taken along with the x-axis in degrees Celsius and density now. Density we can take along with the y-axis. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, density and the volume has the inverse kind of relationship. Density is mass per unit volume. So, density is inversely proportional to volume. As volume increases, density decreases. This graph is a upper-handed parabola. So, for the density and temperature, we can draw a downward parabola. That is, at 4 degrees Celsius, the density of water is maximum. First, the density increases up to 4 degrees Celsius, then again it decreases with further rise in temperature. Next, we shall discuss about Hobbs experiment to demonstrate the anomalous expansion of water.